Wake up with us, it's time to rise and shine. Morning mayhem's on the air, we're feeling fine. We got a Marco, Tomlin, and Mama Manning too. Bringing you the latest, there's nothing we can't do. Morning mayhem, it's a wild ride. Sports news and the daily updates, we're on your side. Special guests and interviews galore. We're taking over Woodland Regional, we're knocking down the door.
Good morning, Woodland, and welcome to Wednesday, March 5th, and it is an A day.
3 for 3.
3 for 3. I'm doing great this week. I'm getting them all in a row. It is a full week, except for the last day of the week, which is a half day for students, full day for teachers, and it looks like it's warming up out there. And if it's warming up, I just want to have a public service announcement this morning. For those of you who have to catch buses, do me a favor. If the bus is sitting there, be at your bus and not walking a quarter mile, making the bus just sit there. So the rest of us who have to go to work has to sit there for an extra 5 minutes. This bus kept opening its door, closing its door. You're thinking, all right, now we're going to go. Then it opened its door again. You don't see any kids anywhere, and then suddenly see someone walking up the street, just meandering, and he gets on the bus. And you're like, oh, great, the door's closed. And you're like, yay. And then the door's open again. And you're like, are you kidding me? And it did it 5 times. I was stuck at this light at the stop sign for 5 minutes. It was craziness. I don't know. All right, so I'm sorry. That was just me saying stuff. I don't know if I did that as a kid. Maybe I did that as a kid too. Maybe I'm just being a hypocrite. I don't know. I'm just get to your bus or drive to school yourself. There you go. Right. An interesting fact today. In 1960, Alberto Corda captured the iconic images of Che Guevara during a memorial service in Havana, Cuba. The photograph later was titled Guerrilla Heroico. It became one of the most reproduced images in history, symbolizing rebellion and revolution worldwide. Today's birthday is Madison Beer, American songwriter, and she had her initial fame through YouTube and has scored hits like Selfish and Reckless. And finally, today is World Energy Efficiency Day, and it's observed annually on March 5th to emphasize the use of energy efficiency to reduce consumption and environmental impact. Don't forget to unplug your appliances when you're not using them. That is one of the highest wastes of electricity. Today, it's Read Across America Week here in Media Center, and you have Library Connections. And I believe, is that going to be the door decorating contest? Oh, no, this is where the libraries from the Beacon Falls and Prospect Libraries will be visiting, checking out what we do today. But door decorating contest is coming up. So if you haven't decorated your door, find out what the rules are. Thursday, March 6th in room 212, that is the GSA meeting. So make sure that you're there for that. Juniors, if you get a 530 or higher on the math SAT, no final exam. And maybe we have someone who can help explain a little bit more on that, what that deal is. Pom Pom Poll of the Week, earbuds or headphones? Which do you prefer? There's a Hawk Wings meeting on Thursday, March 5th. Well, that can't be.
March 6th.
March 6th, room 229. So it's not today, it's tomorrow. And today, Woodland Esports takes on another high school this afternoon in Mario Brothers Ultimate, or Smash Brothers Ultimate, not Mario Kart. We're out of Mario Kart. All right. Well, I think that's what we got for right now. Time now for the news with Tomlin.
And now, with the latest headlines, over to the news desk with Tomlin.
Good morning. Couple top stories to start your day. First off, hold on. You caught me off guard. I'm still.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, no.
I had another minute or two. 1 second.
He was thinking about the school
I
bus.
was just moving around. Yeah.
I was stuck behind a couple this morning myself. It was like, come on.
Yeah. That's my daylight savings time, but it seemed brighter this morning.
All right. So here you go. First, we'll start with the good news story. The Hudson River Valley nearby uplands in New York is dotted with popular hiking spots, but poor access and limited infrastructure have meant that nearby towns are overwhelmed by visitors during the hiking season. Fear not, a new comprehensive park and trail will connect these peaks and through troughs like never before and will help spread visitor hikers more evenly along the riverside and keep them off the main roads of state Route 90. So if you want to go to the Hudson Valley, you want to get away,
Beautiful area. We've gone hiking
Beautiful.
out there.
it's going to be a 7.5-mile linear trail.
All right.
So
There's a bridge they have that you just set up over the Hudson River
Mhm.
that you can walk on. We've gone on that too.
absolutely amazing. All right, just a couple other big stories. Last night, President Trump addressed a joint session of Congress. It lasted 90 minutes. Sorry, more than 90 minutes, the longest in at least 60 years. The presidential remarks surpassed former President Bill Clinton's State of the Union address in 2000, which came in an hour and 28 minutes. So it's 2 minutes longer than Bill Clinton's 2000 State of the Union. This is according to the American President Project, which tracks the lengths of each speech since 1964.
I thought that department got cut.
No, this is a private,
Oh,
separate
That makes
organization.
sense.
And remember, the State of the Union is not required to be presented verbally. It's the president is required, quote, from time to time, give Congress update in the State of the Union. So many of our presidents have traditionally sent it, or before the modern era, they'd send it in writing. It would be a letter that would just be read to the Congress
Like a meeting that can be done by email.
by email. It became on and off for a while. Presidents would not go, because remember, the president is actually not allowed in the Capitol without being invited, because that is the home of the first branch of our government, the Congress. So in order for the president to get to the Capitol, he has to be invited.
I thought
by
that
the
got
Speaker.
canceled by Doge.
No. Congress
Oh.
is created by Article 1 of the Constitution. It's the first part of our government created when the founding fathers created the entire system, so that is run by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. They're the head of Congress. They're the only constitutional officer created in the Constitution for Congress. All the other structures are created by Congress itself, because Congress is given the power in the Constitution to build its own staff beyond that. But as the leader of the first branch, in order to have the leader of the second branch, the executive branch, come to Congress, they need to officially be invited. And for a long time, presidents didn't want to do that. So they would just send their letter and it would be read, and maybe some people show up, maybe some people don't.
Like the King of England sent the letter to President Trump.
Well, before you went there, you're absolutely correct, because the English Civil War established the precedent that the king is not allowed to go to Parliament, because the last time a king showed up, he arrested people, he had people's heads chopped off. There was a whole civil war. Ultimately, the king's head got chopped off in the English Civil War. But to this day, when the king goes to Parliament to make an address, there's this guy called Black Rod, because he carries a black rod. He goes to the House of Commons and he bangs on the door, and there's actually a dent in the door, and he screams, "The king demands your presence." And someone's job is to open the door and say no and slam it in his face. The Black Rod then knocks the second time and says, "The king would please like your presence," and then the House of Commons goes. As a tradition back to when the King of England stormed in and demanded certain people and had people executed. So now they,
Is that where the term "heads are gonna roll" comes from?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Look at me learning history.
I just love the tradition that this one guy's job, actually Black Rod, the last Black Rod was a woman, but her job was to, take this black rod and bang it on the door. And there's like a dent in this several 100-year-old door. And then they would slam the door on her. It's awesome. One of the big takeaways last night from President Trump's speech was he wants to create an office of shipbuilding within the executive branch. This, and also to offer new tax incentives for the sector. This is one area where the country definitely needs assistance. One of the little reported aspects of manufacturing in this country is that our shipbuilding is the entire system needs to be built up. The United States Navy is beginning to face problems with getting parts, with getting ships repaired, getting new ships built, just because there's so few manufacturers and even less facilities capable of maintaining our naval presence.
Couldn't we just mount cannons on a Carnival Cruise Line ship?
In World War II, we did take passenger liners, convert them to troop transports, and we did mount anti-aircraft weaponry on them.
And then you go down the water slide.
The Queen Elizabeth had anti-aircraft on it. The Olympic, sister of Titanic and Britannic, had cannons on it as well. But that's more of a time of war-ish sort of thing. Most people in the hot tub drinking their Mai Tais don't want to hear like a 5-inch gun going off.
We don't know yet.
There's your news.
And that's the news of Tomlin. Over to the sports desk with Mama Manning.
Here's a shot at the buzzer.
Strike three call. What a catch. Touchdown.
Time now for sports with Mama Manning.
Good morning. Good morning. Last night here at Woodland,
Right here.
girls basketball lashed out
Ooh,
at
good for.
Lakeview
Oh yeah.
and won 70-46.
Ooh, that's decisive.
Yeah.
That new high school combination didn't stand a chance.
Oh, that's great. We led in all stats. I mean, we were just phenomenal. Rebounding, shooting, defending, stealing. We were thieves.
Oh, win and go on.
Good news
Yep.
and bad news. They
Oh,
face Seymour.
oh.
Thursday away, 7 p.m.
Man, it's like you go far away just to come back home.
That's right. Today we have the boys diving finals at Watertown starting at 6 p.m. and swimming finals are Friday at Kennedy starting at 4:30.
That's gonna be a bash right there.
That's going to be a great competition. Good luck, all athletes.
And that's the sports with Mama Manning. All right, our guest this morning is from the math department. Good morning, Monica.
Good morning, Woodland.
So we know that we had some of the math team, and it was a math honor society as well. I'm not sure.
It was a combination.
It was a
of all
combination?
five students from the math team mostly. We had two teams, one senior team, one junior team, 5 students on each team, and they were solving one real world problem. It was actually based on energy efficiency.
Oh,
So
Is that a
global
new-
warming.
Is that a new type of competition?
No, we participate in this competition since I would say 2017.
But it's
Mhm.
with is it always with a real world problem they have to
Always,
solve? Oh, great.
always some issue that is going on in the world. Last year topic was homeless people, how to fight homelessness. 2 years ago, we had something with electric bikes, how electric bikes can help us to move in the cities instead of cars. So they get real life problem and they have to find a mathematical model how we could solve that problem using math simply.
So like data
Mhm.
analysis and statistics, and then they have to figure out how to extrapolate that data out that would be in a positive way for the outcome of the problem.
Yes, yes.
How do our teams do?
Our teams are very strong, very strong. They know statistics, they know calculus, pre-calculus, and both teams finished the reports. They finished 10, 15 minutes before the end of the time, which is very promising.
wow.
Wow.
When I say report, it sounds easy, but it's actually like 14 pages essay or analysis, let's say, of data and the findings they have, the model they built. They have to justify every step. They have to make assumptions. They have to find the weaknesses and strengths of the model they built. So much work. And 14 hours is like 1 minute. For
Yeah,
them.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
And
You said 14. I was checking. You said
Yeah,
14
14.
hours.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're working as a team, so it's one product that those 5 kids are producing for
Yes.
each team.
Yes,
Got it.
yes.
Using their math skills. Who are
Mhm.
some of the students?
Okay, so on the senior team, we had Gabe Diamante, we had Nick Savaris, we had Lily Miko, Blake Ranking, and we had Gabby Moranes.
Oh, great.
And junior team, we had one senior, Katrina Amati, but then we had Noah Wildy, we had Jameson Nemeth, we had Jacob Tremblay, and we had Jack Schrager.
Good.
So
Good
very
teams.
strong
That
students,
is. That's
good
a
teams.
it's a good bunch of kids right there.
Wow.
So they have problem solving that they need to bring. So it's a very creative element bringing to math and how to use math and numbers to solve like a real world problem. Do they get ranked for a next competition, or is there a level that they can go to compete at next?
Yes, we will probably wait about 3 weeks to get the results. Both teams will get comments from the judges. In 3 weeks, they will tell us if we move up to the top 5% or not. It's the international competition.
Oh wow. Okay.
United States and UK participating in this one. So high schools from United States and from Great Britain. So we have a lot of schools participating. It's a really big competition. Mhm.
So what does the math team have coming up?
The math team will participate in the map competition in Southern University on March 20th. We are getting ready for that. Let's see how it goes because this is the first time we participate in this competition.
Great. Now,
Mhm.
oh, well, I was going to shift gears to the SAT.
That's what I was going to ask.
Oh, that's where I was going. Nice. So
Mhm.
we've seen this slide that's come up every morning that says that if a junior gets a 530 on the SAT, they
Mhm.
don't have to take the exams. Can you just illuminate that point a little bit more?
5:30 for juniors, and the math part of SAT that is coming up in like more a little
April.
bit more
Yeah,
than
it's
mine
coming up
the
quick.
month, yes. So if any junior gets 5:30 score on the math part, then they don't have to take the final exam.
For that class.
That's
For
it. So
that
if they're in
class,
any,
for the math class, they are in.
whatever math class they happen to be in,
Yes,
They're exempt.
they're
they
exempt.
are exempt.
That's a great deal.
5:30.
Yeah,
5:30.
and that's doable. That's a
It is
doable score.
doable. It's
Yeah.
really doable. We just need juniors to put a little bit more effort, get ready, use their skills, they have them, and go for it.
That's exciting.
That is. That's one of
Mhm.
those deals that I wish I had back in high school. I think it would give me a little more incentive to do well on the SAT.
And does that carry over to the English department? We'll have to find out.
I don't know. No, I think they're setting the precedent. Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
thank you for coming on
Thank
and
you.
giving us some information on
Thank you.
everything that's been going on with the math team. And
Thank you.
good luck.
Have a great day.
All right. And don't forget, on behalf of the show, she's Mama Manning. He's Tomlin. I'm Amato. Good morning, Woodland.
Morning mayhem, it's a wild ride. Sports news and the daily updates, we're on your side. Special guests and interviews galore. We're taking over Woodland Regional. We're knocking down the door.
Every morning at 7 a.m.
Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram too. We're streaming on Spotify. We're reaching out to you. Join the Morning Mayhem crew.
Knocking down the door.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, I don't know. You might have to put your microphone a little closer, or whatever. Her mic was open,
Yeah,
so
but
it
I
was
could
like,
hear her.
yeah, I
Yeah.
could hear